G'day everyone, welcome back to another project, and as you may have seen by the title, we're making a leather knife sheath for my recently made bushcraft knife. Now if you haven't seen the series on that, please check it out here. I hope you can enjoy that. And I'm just doing this so that I can wear the knife, protect the blade, and use it safely. So with that said, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get into it. Okay, so just before I get into this, I want to put a disclaimer out there that most of what I'm doing here, I'm following the steps of another YouTube video I watched. So I'll leave a link to that video here and in the description below as well. So with that said, I've got to first design a template for the sheath. So I'm just starting off with a blank A4 piece of paper, and I'm just going to fold that in half to create the two halves so it's symmetric. Just like that. Now what I have to do is make an allowance on the fold here for the thickness of the leather. So the leather that I'm using, it's just this, from this scrap piece of I think it's a belly strap, I think. Just fairly cheap leftover cut. It's veg tan. Now the best place that I'm thinking to use this would probably be up around here. Fairly clean, quite sturdy leather. And the thickness there is about 3 mil. So I'm going to do it slightly wider than 3 mil, as that's what was said in the video. So yeah, I'll do that now and I'll come back to you. Okay, now that the line has been marked out there, now it's time to trace the shape of the knife onto it. I'm just gonna get it here, put it right up against the line there. And this would be easier if I had a template, which I do have a rough template, but since I did do quite a bit of modification in the grinding stage or removal stage, I want to get just as close as I can, and this should be close enough hopefully. And there it is. It's a little bit rough, since the handle's kind of wobbling about a bit. I have to readjust, hence there's the lines there. What I need to do now though is mark out the welt. So the welt's basically just a thickness of leather in between the fold. So if you can see that, it folds over like that, the sheath, but then the welt is another thickness in between there. And that's really important because it stops the stitches from being cut. So I'm gonna mark that out. The video that I watched said he allows a 10 mil welt. So I'll just do the same there. And just trace 10 mil around the edge of the knife here. Okay everyone, so we're back, and as you saw there, I cut out the main part of the sheath. Looks pretty good, it worked pretty nicely. What I'm going to do now though is design and cut out the belt loop for my work belt here. Now, since it is a fairly big knife, I don't want it to be vertical because that's just going to get in the way of my leg and everything, and horizontal won't really work either. So I think I'm going to go for a 45-degree angle on my belt. I think that should work quite well, keep out of the way and all that. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm also going to try and keep it quite high up here so that it's hanging down below my leg. So that should hopefully work okay. So that should be pretty easy to draw up. I'll just draw a little rectangular thing like that. So I'll do that, cut that out. Then I'll also mark and cut the welt out so that I can then have all the pieces cut out, ready, and I'll come back to you and I'll stitch the belt loop on. Hope you enjoy. Hey guys, so I've cut out the welt and the belt loop holder. So what I'm going to do now is using the edge tool, which basically just bevels the edge. Going to bevel around the belt loop and the main body, and then I'm going to use just a light brown leather dye to dye the pieces, and then come back after that into sewing the belt loop on. Hope you enjoy. If you made it this far, remember to please like, comment and subscribe. Okay guys, so we finished staining the leather and it's looking really nice. I'm really loving the tone of it. It's really, I'm not sure if it comes through on camera, but it's really nice, rich red kind of chestnut color. Really like that. So what we're going to do now is just burnish around the edges of the belt keeper and the top of the sheath here, because I'll do the edge after I glue the welt on. And I already kind of explained what this does in my belt video, so please go and check that out if you haven't already. But it's basically just polishing the edge. I'm just going to be doing one of these little wooden things. Doing it with water first and then a bit of wax at the end just to make it a bit waterproof and polish it up a bit better. So I'll do that and come back to stitch the thing on. Okay, so I just stitched the belt loop on there. I'm a little bit concerned that it's only got 2 stitches in there. Maybe I should have looped it over the edge, but it seems to be holding okay, and it'll stretch a bit, so that should be good. But what I'm going to do now is bend the leather over. So I'm going to wet down the spine here with plenty of water to make sure it loosens the leather up and allows it to be flexible enough that it won't crack the spine. So I'll do that, and then once I do that, I'll be using contact cement. I'm going to be spreading it along the edge of here, and I'm going to be gluing the welt in. So once the welt's glued in, then I can mark the stitches out again, and I can stitch along the whole edge of the keeper there. So that's it for now, guys, and let's get into the bending. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed that B-roll. So just a few things. What I did to get the knife to fit, I put a lot of leather conditioner on it and just gradually snuck it in more and more, and it gets this nice bulge on it there. If I was to do this again, there are a few things I would change, which I might still change. The belt loop here, since that went across the bulge and the molded part, it got quite tight. So the belt I wanted to fit into it won't really fit into it. And also what I would also do is there's only 2 stitches on each end holding this in. So I'd actually put holes on either side and loop it over just like I've done up here on the welt, to strengthen it up a bit, because I think it's starting to pull out a little. So I'd do that, make it a bit longer and put a bit more slack in it, just so it's a bit easier to go on the belt. And other than that, guys, that's a finished knife. And before we go again, I've made a new Instagram account for this YouTube page. Go follow it at lg_fine.craftsmanship. So I hope you enjoy this video, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.